to Table Talks Sister Edition. I'm your host, Madison, and along with my co-host, Samantha.
Hello.
And today we are just going to with some girl talk. It'll be in the caption, so when you click on it, you already know. But we decided to name this one Girl Talk, from potty training to pre-op.
We've got a lot going on around here.
A whole lot. But we have just been, doing, I feel like it's been really busy lately because it's like the end of summer and like you're trying to get all the last things finished up, and it's the end of summer and we still haven't even gone on vacation, which it's next week and I'm so ready for.
I know, I'm so excited. So that's why we're doing this podcast this week, because next week nothing will be thought about but the beach and our toes in the sand.
Absolutely. Like, if I text you next week, just know that you're very loved, because I'm not coming back to my real world for that whole week.
Right. I'm so excited for next week, and the kids are so excited. I need to find Aubrey one of those, those like beach tents for babies.
Oh, yeah.
I had one for Aaliyah, and then when we moved, I thought, I'll never use this again. I had Alex at that point. He was a boy, and that thing was bright pink, and I said, I'm not putting Alex in a bright pink beach tent. And so I really need to get another one. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I might order one on Amazon or something, but I need to get one for her.
Yeah.
So.
I'm excited because, like, this is going to be Aubrey's first time, obviously, but I've never gone to the beach with Alex. I know Alex has been to the beach, but it's been a couple years since we've gone, like, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see what Alex is like in it, because he used to be afraid of water. Like, I mean, I've never been to the beach with him, but I remember
like
the first time,
stuff.
At the lake, he would, like, freak out. But then, like, this year, when we went to the lake, he was, like, loving it. Like, he was going out. Now, he only loved it for, like, 10 minutes, then he'd be back at the shore making sandcastles. But
he loves digging in sand. Like, you can give the kid, I think we went to the lake, I think it was a few weeks ago now, and I forgot to bring, like, his sand stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I had a spoon and a cup, and he went to town with a spoon and a cup, and so it doesn't take much to make him happy.
So he's going to be in heaven next week with all that sand.
Yeah, he's going to have so much fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, because it has been a couple of years since I've been to the beach. Like, it's been a while. Like, I can't remember the last time.
I think we went last summer. No, we didn't. We went the summer before last. Gotcha. We went whenever Hannah had Caroline.
Oh, yeah, and she's 2 now.
And she's 2. So, yeah, it was 2 years ago since we've been to the beach. So I'm very excited.
I would say then for me it had been about 3 years ago, because I think Aaliyah was still on a bottle, because I remember the pictures I have of her.
Yeah, she was.
She was, like, little. So, yeah, and she's 4 now. So, yeah, that'd be about right 3 years ago for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to, though. I've seen so much about shark attacks lately, and I'm low-key, like, a little nervous. Just because, like, some of them I know we're not going to Myrtle, but, like, Garden City's right next to Myrtle, and, like, a lot of them were happening in Myrtle. I was like, oh, gosh. But, I mean, we can look out, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe they will, the lifeguards will be, they'll be on their best game.
Yeah.
Be spotting some sharks out there.
Hopefully.
I'm excited because I love the fact that we're going in September. Mm-hmm. Because everyone's going back to school. There will be people down there, but it's not going to be as hectic and crazy with all the tourists, because everyone's going back to school. So I'm excited about that part, the fact that we're going in September.
Me too. Like in June, when all my friends, like, at work and stuff were, like, going on vacation, I was like, okay, I've made a mistake, like, offering September, because I was like, man, I really want to go on vacation. But now I'm, like, so ready, because I'm, like, especially, and we've talked about this, like, and, I mean, we'll get into some of this, but, like, after the last couple months, like, I feel like all of us just need this mental break right now.
Well, and our summer was so packed. Like,
it was.
We did, we have, like, of course, like, we have our 4th Saturday night
mm-hmm.
service, and then, the men at our church here picked up, like, a men's meeting.
Yeah.
We still have our ladies meeting every month, and then on top of that, we were doing a water handout, like, ministry through the summer on Saturday. So every single Saturday but one was booked.
Yeah.
And usually, because those 3 Saturdays were taken up, that, like, 3rd Saturday, we would find something to do that day, because all of our other Saturdays were taken. So our summer has been so incredibly busy. It's been great, but it's been busy. And so I'm definitely thankful for our vacation that's coming up, and I'm thankful for just fall. I'm excited for this heat to go away.
Yes.
I want to, like, go to the beach, get my last, like, dose of vitamin D. Get sunburnt, whatever. Have fun in the beach, but then I'm ready for fall.
Well, when we get back, it's going to practically be fall. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
we're
the
coming
first
back
day
on
of
the
fall.
14th.
I think the first day of fall is September 22nd.
Yeah.
So that's like a week after.
Yeah, so we're like going to do a great transition right there. I love fall because, like, I love it because it's like, you know, the little bit cooler temperatures and stuff. I mean, I love summer. I'm a summer girly, but I'm a fall girly just as much. Like, and I love how you can dress in the fall. Like, you can literally be so slouchy and be like in a jean skirt or a maxi skirt and sweatshirt, and your hair can just be like whadded up on top of your head, and everybody's gonna be like, "You look so cute." Like,
I look cozy.
Yeah, that's my favorite part though, because you literally don't have to try, but you really do still look cute. Like, sweatshirts are my favorite. They are so adorable, and you can get so many like good ones. Like Marley Lily, I could spend my entire paycheck there. Like, I really could. I don't, but I really could.
I remember when I worked, I think I was 17. Yeah, I was 17. So from 17 to 18, I worked at this barbecue restaurant. And I actually did spend one of my entire paychecks on Marley Lily.
I don't blame you.
I bought a raincoat and had it monogrammed. I bought a sweatshirt and had it monogrammed. And I bought like 2 or 3 t-shirts, I think. And that's back when I was living at home.
Yeah.
So as long as I paid just like my gas and I think my insurance, like I was good.
Right.
And so everything else, you know, my mom obviously took care of, and I'm thankful for that. But I've just had money to blow, and I blew my entire paycheck on Marley Lily's website.
I don't blame you. I got a pair of duck boots that have my monogram on it, and I love them. I don't even wear them that often, but like I love those.
Well, and the quality is there. Like,
it is.
I still have that raincoat. Like, I'm so excited because this year I can actually wear it again.
Yeah.
Because like with each kid, I have gained weight and kept it. But with Aubrey, where for whatever reason I have just lost all of my weight this time with her, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm so excited because I'll be able to wear that raincoat again because I'm finally that size again. And that raincoat was like $60, I think is what I spent for it. So I never got rid of it. I held on to it, but I'm so thankful that I'm going to get to wear it again. It still has my maiden initials on it, which is kind of funny.
Right. Well, and too, it, like you said, it's such good quality. Kids, like, are so rough on clothes. Like, I don't have kids, but I've seen your kids. I've seen my friends' kids. Like, kids are rough on clothes.
Yeah.
Leah has had that vest I bought her 2 years ago. And somehow, I don't know how in the world it fit her when she was 2, because, like, it still fits her perfect now. But it still looks just as good as when I bought it. I mean,
it does.
And she wears it, quite a bit in the fall.
She plays dress up with it. She loves it,
That's adorable.
I think it just feels special to her because where her initials are on it, it's just, she doesn't have another piece of clothing like that. So I think it's just different for her.
That probably is. Then poor Alex, I remember because I felt bad because I bought her something monogrammed. See, this is the problem when your brother and sister-in-law have multiple kids. Because then the only thing they had that really, like, because Alex was like a newborn at that point. And I got him like a bib with his on it. But like, I felt like I had to get him something. I mean, I would have got him something anyway because it was Christmas. But like, I felt like it specifically had to be monogrammed. And Alex like was literally 2 months old and had no clue. And, like, he was only going to use it for, like, 6 months. I mean, it was a bib.
It's funny how like, the love you have for children, like, guilts you into buying things that is completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And that changes with each kid. Like, I remember when I had Aaliyah, I had to have all the things. Like, all of it. I remember when I got pregnant with Alex, I didn't have nothing, and I didn't even care. I wasn't even slightly, I'm like, well, Leah has some neutral colored, like, sleepers left. Like, he'll be fine. He can just live in a sleeper. Like, I did not freak out about having to have this and having to have that. And I don't ever even say anything. Like, I see people's registries, like, when they're having their first baby. Don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, don't dim that mom's sparkle.
Right,
like, I guess that's what I'm looking for. Like, let her be excited. Let her put the 300 things on there. Just because she's excited, it's new. It's her first baby.
She's learning. First time mom one time.
Yeah, like it's her first time getting to do all the things, and so let her be excited. Yeah. Don't be like the Scrooge out there that's telling her you don't need all that stuff. Or after I had my third one, none of that stuff even mattered. You will learn that, but don't tell the first time mom that. Just let her be excited, because I was excited about all the things. I mean, Aaliyah literally had a bow for every single outfit.
She did.
She had every color, every print, every style bow you could possibly imagine. Like, and for every size, because their head gets bigger and they grow out of them. Like, that girl had some bows in her hair.
Did.
All of the time. And, like, Aubrey hates bows. I have one bow for Aubrey, and she don't even wear it half the time. And so, you just learn, like, I guess as you have your kids, like, what things really matter and what things don't matter.
Right.
But like I said, Aubrey don't even like bows, so even if I ordered them, she probably wouldn't wear them.
Right. I know, and honestly, in the long run, it's saved you money, though, because you've used the same stroller and high chair for all 3 kids, even though it's pink.
I have. I know Alex was in a pink high chair. I'm like, he's slinging food on it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not spending extra money for him to just get it dirty.
And I remember, too, like, I feel like even as, like, they call me TT, so as a TT, it's also changed with each of them, though, because with Aaliyah, it was nothing for me. Remember, I would literally show up to your house randomly and be like, hey, I just went by Carter's, I just went by Old Navy,
you got an Old Navy credit card.
And I maxed it out.
On Aaliyah.
On Aaliyah, yeah, I never shop at Old Navy for myself, like, I probably could now, but, like, at the time, like, there was nothing there I could really wear, so, like, I maxed that credit card out just on that baby.
I'll be honest with you, like, I don't find much at Old Navy. Like, I feel like it's a more expensive Walmart.
It really is.
Like, I feel like the things that are at Old Navy, I could find just as easily at Walmart. Not their flip-flops. Now, let me tell you, Old Navy has got the best flip-flops.
The best.
Especially when they do their sale on their flip-flops. Hands down, you're not going to find flip-flops like Old Navy flip-flops. They're the best cheap flip-flops out there.
Yes.
But their clothes, I feel like I could buy the same clothes at Walmart.
Mm. Now, one thing they had this summer, but I missed it, like, I didn't hear about it till, like, the last, like, couple days of the sale, so they were, like, sold out of pretty much everything. But Lacey Still from Florida, she had posted, they had these dresses, and they were actually modest. They were, like, came up all the way up to here. Well, y'all can't see that, but I'm up to my collarbones, and they, like, were ankle length.
Wow.
And they were, like, so pretty. They were, like, there was a khaki color, a navy color. They were so good for, like, summer because you could throw on, like a undershirt, like, you know how, like, it was big this summer. Everybody was doing, like, the white undershirts that were, like, super cute. But they would have transitioned so well in the fall, like, with the cardigan. I wanted them so bad, and they were on sale, too. But, like I said, they were sold out. Like, she posted that, and I went, like, the next day and looked, and they were, like, sold out.
Wow.
Like, but, so they do sometimes have, like, I feel like random stuff that's really good.
That you're not going to find, like, in other places.
Yeah. But then, at the same time, like, you could go to, you know, any, like, boutique and find stuff like that, too. So it's kind of still one of those things where you're like, do I want to pay for it at all, maybe? I don't know.
Another thing, so we were talking about the beach and how we're so excited, and I'm so excited because Alex is officially potty trained. Like, I can say he's completely potty trained now. He had, like, accident after accident after accident, and I thought, Jesus help, because I'm, like, going to use all my laundry detergent on this boy. Like, I keep having to wash all of his clothes. I'd have to, like, strip down his bedding every single night. Like, he just kept having accident after accident. And the pull-up method, like, just doesn't work for us. Like, I remember trying to use pull-ups for Aaliyah, and every time she would just use the bathroom in it because she thought it was like a diaper. And so I just went straight to panties, and I kind of did the same thing with him. I just went straight to underwear. And so it does get a little messy. And he had more accidents than Aaliyah. 3 days, Leah was done.
Yeah.
Like, she knew what she was doing and was proud of herself for doing so. Alex thinks it's funny. He doesn't now. I finally got that out of him. But, like, this kid, so he had to go number 2, and he goes and hides under our table. And I told Aaliyah, I was like, where did he go? And she's like, I think he's under the table. And so I go under there, and he had an accident. And I was like, Alex, you know you're supposed to go to the bathroom. And he comes out, and he's like, nah, nah, boo, boo. And he's laughing at me.
Oh, my goodness.
And so to say that potty training him and Leah was night and day, it was literally night and day. Like,
sounds like
Alex thought it was hilarious. And so, thankfully, we are past that.
Right.
And he is now, like, go into the bathroom. Like, he will just take off running. Like, they were in church the other night, and my father-in-law told me that this church that they were at, like, Alex just takes off running in the middle of church and goes, I gotta pee! And just, like, took off running to the bathroom. And the church was at, like, a quiet moment. And so he said it was just really funny because the whole church heard Alex scream how he had to pee. So, but I'm so thankful that we are finally past our accidents. It seems like they're no longer fun to him because he realizes he has to change and he gets gross and stuff. So I'm thankful that we're through that.
Yes, for sure.
And it's perfect, like, just in time for the beach.
Yeah. It is. And think of the money y'all are going to save. Diapers are so expensive.
We were buying a pack of diapers for him, like, almost every 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Because, I don't know if it's just boys, but he pees so much. Like, this is probably TMI, but we're just going to be transparent here. Like, I've never met a kid that pees so much. And it could just be a boy thing, because, you know, Aaliyah was my first that I potty trained, and she was a girl. But I've never in my life, like, seen a kid pee as much as he does. Like, I would change diaper after diaper after diaper. And, like, one time I'd have to change it because it would be so full.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm definitely glad to not have to be buying diapers
Yeah,
anymore.
for sure.
Especially because, like, I've had 2 kids in diapers as long as I've had 2 kids.
Right.
As long as I've had more than one.
Yeah.
Because I had Aaliyah, then I had Alex. She just turned a year old in January, and then I had Alex in October.
Mm-hmm.
So she was in potty trained.
Right.
So I had diapers for both of them. And then I got Aaliyah potty trained, and I had Aubrey.
Right.
And so now, for the past 5 months, I've had Alex and Aubrey in diapers.
Yeah.
And so I'm so thankful that now I just have one in diapers.
Right, for sure. Like, you'll be, like, deciding to potty train her at, like, 9 months. You're going to be like, okay, you can stand, you can, like...
Like, go do whatever you want. Just don't have an accident.
Right. Obviously, I don't even know, like, that much about kids. I don't even know how old they are when they start standing up. Because now when I said 9 months, it's like, that seems so little.
I think it's different for every kid.
Gotcha.
Like, I've heard of some kids, like, walking before they're a year old.
Gotcha.
But I think both of mine were over a year old when they started walking. Like, I think it's just different for everybody's kids.
Sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I remember Alex was so funny, and I know, like, we're on a rabbit trail at this point, but, like, Alex was so funny. Do you remember, I came across a video the other day, because you know, like, how your Google and, like, all that kind of stuff will do, like, the memories, and your social media apps will do memories.
Uh-huh.
I had one pop up for Alex when he was learning to crawl. Do you remember that weird crawl he would do where he just, like, scooted his whole body?
Yeah.
I see that video, and I literally started cracking up, because I forgot about that. How he literally, like, would just, like, scoot his whole body. Almost like he was swimming or something.
Well, it almost seemed like more work.
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, you're doing, like, smarter, not harder, dude. Like, you're making it so much harder on yourself. You just actually crawl.
Yeah. And then remember when he finally learned it, though, then he, like, speed crawls. I don't know how to say that. But
he, like, ran on his knees and his hands. Yeah.
He did. It was the funniest thing.
Yep. He did. Him and Aaliyah are night and day. Like, that is one thing. People always told me, like, I think when I got pregnant with Alex and then I had Alex, people would always say, every child is different. Every personality is different. It is 100% true.
Right.
They are completely different in every way. Like,
they really are.
They don't even like the same food.
Right? They really don't.
No, like, they literally don't even like the same food. The only thing that they share a common ground on is smoothies. My kids love smoothies.
That's funny. Yeah, they do. This morning, like, she made them pancakes, and as she was walking out the door because we were coming here, she said that they were like, we need a smoothie with this.
Yeah, I'm like, let's be normal kids and just drink milk with our pancakes today. Like, stop being extra. I gotta go do the podcast, so you just get your pancakes, and I'll make a smoothie when I get home.
That's so funny, though. I know, I didn't know, so Alex, like, he talks so well, but, like, some of his words, like, I'm still learning, because, like, he's been talking for a while, but he's been talking so good, just, you know.
He talks, like, full-on sentences now, yeah.
And I remember, like, a few months ago, he was trying to ask me if I wanted a smoothie, but I didn't know he calls it, because he calls them, like, a smoothie or something.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, now he says it, but, like, at the time, like, he just called it a smoothie, and he talks fast. Like, this kid, you see him, he's always running around. That's how fast he talks to you, too.
Yeah.
Like, he talks very fast. And I was like, sometimes when kids talk to me, and this is just in general, I'll just, like, respond how I think they want me to respond, and, like, I literally have no clue what they're saying. And he goes to my brother and goes, TT doesn't like smoothies. And Timothy goes, I thought you did like smoothies. I was like, I had no clue what he said, Tim. But Alex was so offended that I said I didn't like smoothies. But now I know, like, what he's talking about. So.
He's like, what kind of weirdo doesn't like smoothies?
Yeah, for real.
My kids love smoothies. And mom hack, if you are like if your kids are like mine, so I will make them lunch, and they usually get, like, some type of fruit or vegetable, like, with their lunch. Whether it's, like, my kids love cucumbers, strawberries, and grapes. Like, that's a must in our house. And so, anytime they do not finish, like, those pieces of their lunch, I keep it all in a bowl in the fridge. Like, I just throw it all in one big bowl. And when it's smoothie time, you better believe, like, cucumbers, strawberry, all of it's going in the blender, and they don't even know.
And that's really such a good hack, too, because that's
You're
a
not
good way to
wasting,
get them to eat, too.
They're eating, like, all different kinds of fruits and vegetables, and then on top of that, it's hydrating them.
Yeah.
It's cold because, you know, it's cold.
Right.
And it's been so hot lately, so that's great. It's a great way to keep them cooled down.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not wasting food. I'm not having to throw away, like, that one strawberry that they didn't want to eat.
Right.
Or, like, those 3 or 4 grapes that Alex will, like, bite in half and not finish. Like,
Right.
I throw it all in a bowl, and then I throw it in the blender, and they don't even know.
That's really smart. One thing I do to myself, like I used to make smoothies a lot. My Papa Jam a few years ago bought me a NutriBullet. And to say that I made smoothies like all the time, like I did, like I was probably I'm back in my healthy girl era, but that was probably my real healthy girl era. Whoops, because I literally like drank smoothies all the time. And one thing I did to like psych myself out is like I can eat spinach like on a salad or something, but as far as just eating spinach, I am not doing that. If it's like I said, if it's on a salad or something, yeah, definitely, because you know you have all the toppings
it's
on
like
it.
Mixed in.
Yeah. But I would put spinach in my smoothies, and you literally cannot taste it. But like you were getting like all that nutrients and stuff.
Yeah.
I really need to do that again because that's such an easy thing. I'm not a breakfast girl. Like I am a breakfast girl, but when I have to go in at 7:00 in the morning,
you could care less. Like,
yeah,
you're a breakfast girl at a certain time.
Yes, yeah.
That's how Aaliyah is. Like Aaliyah is like a brunch girl.
Yes.
She wants to eat at like 11:00, and the girl, I kid you not, would be perfectly fine with like a pancake and some chicken nuggets. Like she wants.
That honestly does sound pretty good, though.
She wants like the best of both worlds, like
right.
because I guess she doesn't want to eat when she first wakes up. Alex, the moment his feet hits the floor, he wants you to eat. Actually, this morning I was getting ready to leave, and he like was yelling my name from his bed, and he goes, "I'm hungry," and was like ready for food before his feet even hit the floor.
That's hilarious.
So Alex, that's the first thing on his brain is food. Aaliyah,
funny.
the first thing on her brain is like, give me some fresh milk and let me go sit on the couch and don't talk to me.
So like that's her equivalent of us like having our coffee in the morning. And
yeah. Well, lately it's been hot chocolate.
I love that.
Like, I've been having to make her hot chocolate, and she goes and picks out, like, one of my coffee cups and, like, drinks her hot chocolate.
She's literally like my spirit animal.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, this kid is so mature for her age, but, like, in the funniest way. I mean, she really is mature for her age, but she's also mature for her age in, like, the things she wants, her responses to things. Like, it's the funniest thing ever. Like, oh, this is funny. I didn't tell you this. So, the kids stayed at my mom and dad's house the other day, and they were with us like all day Saturday, and whenever Aaliyah was doing something, and she was upset about something, I can't remember. Like, you know, toddlers have meltdowns over like the most random things, and I remember she was like upset over something. And so Aaliyah used to do this thing to me when I would be like telling her not to do something. She would go, no, that's what you sound like, TT. So she was upset about something. But like I said, it was nothing serious. It was literally like, I think like her stuffed animal like was missing its shirt or something. I don't remember. Like it was literally something so silly. And she goes, TT, I just want my stuffed animal back. And I go, Leah, I said, like, repeated back to her, I go, that's what you sound like. She got so mad. She, like, stormed off and did her little huff at me. It was just so funny.
Did she make her face?
Yes.
She's got this new face. I don't even know where the face came from.
I don't either.
She got mad at me the other day over something. I told her no. She wanted to go to the park. And I was like, no, we just literally don't have time. We have church tonight. Like, we don't have time. I'm sorry. Yeah. We cannot go to the park. I had to come clean the church. Like, we had church. Like, we didn't have time.
Yeah.
And she just, like, made that face at me. And I was like, please change your face. Like, don't ever make that face at me again.
It's so funny. It's so random. Like,
it is.
It's almost like, it's because, see, Alex has always had a face when you make him mad. Like, he has always had that, like, he furrows his eyebrows, and it's the funniest thing. I told Samantha yesterday, I was like, I could not be his mom because I would never be able to say no to him. Because it's like, he's mad, but like when he furrows his eyebrows and he's like, especially like when he calls somebody mean, like he told me yesterday his dad had to fuss at him because he wouldn't stop doing something. And he comes over and he's got that little face on and he goes, Daddy is so mean. And I was like, oh, is your daddy mean? Like, I was like, I couldn't do it. Like, there's no way I could do it.
TT would let him get away with murder.
I would. Like, I really would. But it's just funny because he's like, he has like such a sweet little heart though. It's like, I don't know. It's the best thing ever though. They both are. They all three are, but Aubrey's like still so little. But she's really recognizing me now, which makes me so happy.
She's starting to like follow people's voices.
Yeah.
Like, she's very aware. Like, I was actually laughing at her in church yesterday because I was holding her and she was like looking like over my shoulder, and she almost does like a back bend while I'm holding her so that she can hear. I think your dad had took the mic and it, like the voice just changed because we were singing, and then he like started testifying or something, and it caught her attention that the sound changed, And she, like, was doing almost a back bend. It was so funny.
Me and Timothy were laughing yesterday while you, like, not while you were singing. No, it wasn't because of you. But we looked over.
Thanks, Madison.
I know, I worded that so bad. But Mom was holding her because Sam was singing, and Mom plays the tambourine. And Aubrey was just staring at that tambourine. Her eyes were like as big as a nickel. Like, it was so funny. She's just like, what in the world is, like, she's probably like, why is Mimo just smacking herself with this metal
thing? She's like, you hit me with that?
Yeah. But I looked at this and look at Aubrey, and her eyes were just like this big around, and she's just staring at that like, what in the world?
She's probably like, so that's how y'all worship? You hit yourself with instruments? That's weird.
Yeah, she's going to be like, I'm going to have to find a new one. No, I'm just kidding. But it was funny, though.
So go ahead and tell us, so we haven't talked about your pre-op. So we were talking about how potty training to pre-op. We haven't touched on that. So tell us a little bit about your pre-op situation.
Okay. So a few weeks ago, I was at work, and I'm not going to go into all the details because we'll be here for the next 45 minutes. But I was at work, and I was, like, having extreme pain. Like, and anybody knows me, like, I'm dramatic around people I know, and, like, you know, I'll, like, be a whole show for somebody I know. But, like, when I'm around, like, people I work with and stuff, I mean, I like to cut up and be funny and, like, you know, I could talk somebody's ears off. But as far as being dramatic, I'm just not that person. Like, people like that, like, get on my nerves usually. But I was literally in so much pain. I was bent over a counter and could not stand up. And I'm, like, almost in tears. I'm sweating because the pain is so bad. And I end up throwing up. Like, it's this whole thing. And I'm, like, inside, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm dying. Like, this is, and like, I work 8 minutes from my house. I clocked out at 10:14 that morning. I got home at 12:06 because I literally could not push the gas button. The gas pedal. Like, it was so bad. So anyway, I go to the hospital, and it just turns out to be like problems that I already have that are just like escalating with like PCOS and stuff like that. And all you girls out there, like, most of you can probably relate because it seems like everybody I meet has that. So.
To be honest, like, I never heard of it whenever I was in high school. Like, I never even knew it was a thing. But now that I'm into my adult years, like, I hear all kinds of women. They're like, I've had this problem since I was in high school and never knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like, I guess doctors are, like, getting better at diagnosing it in people almost. And it's just easier for women to be like, okay, I'm having this problem and this is not normal.
Yeah.
And so they're going to the doctor, they're being more aware of their bodies, and they're finding out, like, this is what this is. Let's do something to try to help you.
Yeah, and I really do think that's what it is because I was kind of the same way. Like, when I was 17, 18, I was, like, having, like, a lot of problems, but I didn't really know exactly what they were. I kind of had some ideas because my mom had PCOS, but, like, I still didn't know for sure because mine was, like, different, and it still is. Like, mine and my mom's symptoms are still, like, night and day different, but we both have PCOS. It's the weirdest thing. But, so anyway, it ended up being stuff like that. They sent me home, and any girl knows how hard it is to get into your OB. I finally got in there 2 weeks later, and so, let me back up a little bit. The ER is like, your endometrial lining is, like, thick, but it's normal because of, you know, menstruation and all these things. And so they send me home. Like, they don't even send me home with pain medicine. They just tell me, you know, use ibuprofen and Tylenol. So I'm like, for the next, like, week and a half, because it was 2 weeks before I could get in to see my doctor, I'm, like, literally living on this pain medicine just to make it through the day. And I get to my OB 2 weeks later, and he's like, so we're going to be doing surgery. He said, because, and I was like, you know, I'm like, well, they said it was, like, normal because of, you know, being that time of the month, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, it's so thick, like, this is not normal at all, especially because, a little more of a backstory, I had been on my period, literally, for almost a year, so, like, he was like, no, this is not normal at all. So now I'm scheduled for surgery the week after we get back from the beach, so, and it's, like, a minor surgery as far as, like, it's same day, I'll be, like, in and out, it's not that big of a deal. But he's hoping to do that. But it sounds so much worse than it is, though, because, like, he's literally scraping my uterus. And when he first said that, I, like, kind of got sick to my stomach because I was like, oh, my gosh, like, that sounds so bad. But he is putting me, so he decided not to put me all the way to sleep. I don't know if maybe it's because, I don't really know why he's not putting me all the way to sleep now. He just said that I would be extremely sleepy, but I wouldn't be able to feel anything. But, I have to be dilated, which I was like, that's so weird. And I guess it's because, like, so it's a DNC, which typically happens for people who had miscarriages. So I guess that's why. It's because, like, with a miscarriage, like, I don't want to get into that because that's really deep. But I guess that's why I have to be dilated. But I'm like, this is so weird. As somebody who, like, has never had kids or anything else, I'm like, wow, this is probably going to be, I won't be able to feel anything. But at the same time, like, this is just going to be so weird. Like, I'll literally, after that surgery, I'll be like, I can actually tell people I've dilated. And I'm like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird to think about. But, I'm really, really hopeful this surgery is going to really help everything. Because, like, so far nothing else has worked. But
well, and it'll be an experience, like, once you get through it and it does help, then you can encourage other women your age and tell them, hey, I did this and it worked for me. Don't be afraid.
Yes.
Maybe having this done can make a difference for you.
Yeah.
So you never know. I mean,
For sure.
you do have several friends that have PCOS.
Yes.
And you all kind of have the same struggle.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a way for you to tell other people, hey, I had this done. You can do it too, you know.
And I do think...
And hopefully you will get that, comfort.
Yeah. That I really am hopeful. And honestly, like, God gave me a really great doctor. He's literally the best in the practice. Like, everybody was kind of surprised I even got in with him because I didn't even request him. I just, like, my primary doctor, which he's also amazing. Like, so like, everybody knows I have, like, a job at Eastman. And so, like, I have, like, really good insurance now. So I'm seeing really good doctors now. And my primary doctor is so great, too. And he referred me to my OB, which is the same one my mom and Samantha goes to. And, like, I had heard
literally the best.
Yeah. And I had heard great things about Dr. May, but I didn't request any doctor because I was literally just like, I need help, so I don't care who sees me. But by the grace of God, I got Dr. May. And, like, literally everybody I met, even my boss at work was talking about, like, him and his wife had some issues, and, like, Dr. May was their doctor, and, like, how great. And she even actually had surgery with Dr. May, which made me, like, kind of have more peace about the surgery just because I've never had the surgery. When I was in the ER, that was only my second time ever being in an ER in my entire life. Like, so, I've never had to do, like, serious stuff like this. So, it was a little nerve-wracking for me, even though it was a minor surgery. I was just like, oh, my goodness, like, I'm going to be put to sleep. Like, all these different things were going through my mind. So then, like, when my boss was like, yeah, my wife had surgery with him, it kind of made me feel better because I was like, okay, I don't really know his wife. I've met her a couple of times, but I was like, that made me feel better because I was like, at least somebody I kind of know has had surgery with him.
And had,
stuff.
like, a great experience.
Yeah, and, like, that's what he had said, too. He was like, he's just the greatest surgeon as he is everything else. So I was like, that made me feel so good.
Well, and this doesn't always matter, right? Like, you can be a good doctor, not be a Christian, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously. But I think as Christian women, having someone who is, especially in such a vulnerable situation like what you're going to be going through,
Yeah.
having someone who is a Christian and someone who is prayerfully doing their job
Yes.
makes all the difference in the world.
Absolutely.
Because you're like, this person is basically has the same mindset that I do. Like,
Yeah.
they are living for the Lord. They're praying and asking God for His guidance, which ultimately is going to help them perform their job better.
Yeah.
And so that kind of gives you a sense of peace because you're like, this man knows God, lives for God. I know God and live for God. And
Right.
so, it's just a full circle, I think. And I think that is one thing I love about Dr. May. I didn't even have him for, like, my actual labor process, but where he's, like, the head honcho at that OB practice, like, he came in and spoke with me, like, after all 3 of my labors.
Oh, wow. That's
Like, he
awesome.
paid me a visit. Like, I love Dr. May. And, like, I've heard, he didn't pray with me, but I've heard of women that he prayed with them, like, when they went through miscarriages or they got some devastating news during their pregnancy. Like, he got down right there in the office and prayed with them.
That's amazing.
And that just makes all the world's difference. Like, you can do ministry outside of the 4 walls of your church.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just amazing that there is a man in a practice that's in, like, a vulnerable practice for women. Going to the OB for some women is a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
And, for me, the last 6 years, my OB experience has been about children and the joy of having children.
Right.
But some women go to the OB and they leave and find out they have cancer.
Yeah.
Some women leave and find out that they can never have children. Like, the OB can be a total nightmare for some women.
Yeah.
And so the fact that there are people placed in those, jobs that are godly and they're about the Father's business is just so comforting.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you have him as a doctor. I love Dr. May myself. So shout out to Dr. May.
Yes.
And if you are in the Tri-Cities or you are looking for an OB, State of Franklin OB is the best,
Absolutely.
hands down. in my opinion. I've had nothing but great experiences from them. And Dr. May and Dr. Wendy Wakestraw, she's my absolute favorite. She actually delivered Aaliyah. She is phenomenal. And so if you are a lady and you're looking for one, go there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think something too, because I had a horrible experience at the OB in Elizabethton, and I've told you about that. And I'm not
I
gonna.
went to that one whenever me and Timothy first got married, and I did not like it at all.
I'm not gonna like name drop or anything because I'm not gonna be that person. But it was awful. Like HIPAA was violated. Definitely. I will say this because I'm not saying the name of it, so I'm not gonna get anybody in trouble. I get a phone call. So this is how I find out I have PCOS. Anybody who's ever worked in anything knows HIPAA is you do not spread any kind of information about another patient. I mean, even where I work, I see people all the time I know at the credit union. I cannot come home and tell anybody, oh, so-and-so was in the bank today, because that's a HIPAA violation. That person might not want somebody to know that they bank with Eastern Credit Union.
Right.
So, I mean, HIPAA is so important. I get this phone call when I'm just a young 19-year-old girl, and they called to tell me I have PCOS. And I don't know if it was the doctor I was talking to. I don't know if it was a nurse. I have no clue who called me. I just know it was somebody from that OB. And they literally were like, you have what your mom has. You have PCOS. And I was just like, first of all, I get that she's my mom. And, like, obviously I didn't know that she had that. But I was like, you could not call a patient. Because I'm very private about stuff like that. Because I'm obviously busy with work and just things going on. I can't answer my phone all the time. I don't put people down for emergency contacts that are allowed to know my information because I don't want somebody else to know something before me. I don't want, if I would have found out something even worse the day I had PCOS, the last thing I would have wanted was to have been at work and then they call the other number and tell my mom and then my mom has to tell me. Like, that's just never been okay with me, like, at any doctor I've ever been to. So I know that, like, HIPAA is just so important to people. So whenever they called me, like, yeah, I did know my mom had PCOS, but when that's literally how she told me that, she was like, you have PCOS, you have what your mom has. Then she said, you have PCOS.
It's incredibly wrong.
It is. And I lost all, like, kind of trust in them at that moment. And maybe that's why I made the rest of my time there, like, so bad. Like, because I just, like, felt like they weren't even listening to me. It was kind of like they knew what my mom had, so they knew I had it, like, because the symptoms were there. And that's something I loved about Dr. May, is I told him that, I had been diagnosed with PCOS, but he looked into other things before he said, you have all the symptoms, I'm pretty sure it is PCOS, but he didn't just automatically take my word for it, take the other doctor's word for it. He looked into it to make sure it was still PCOS, and that's what I loved about him. And that's something about him, I feel like he actually listens to his patients, whereas that other OB, I felt like they kind of were just like, oh, you have what your mom has. And it kind of just made me feel like I wasn't seen.
Or, like, valued.
Yeah.
Like, well, we've done all the tests on your mom, so we're just going to say you have what she has, which isn't fair to you as a patient.
It really isn't. And so that's something I can say, too, about State of Franklin. And all the staff has been so great because, especially with now having the surgery and stuff, I think I've met everybody that works there. Like, I've been, to the receptionist, the patient services, to the scheduler, the coordinator. Like, I've been everywhere. And, like, I've seen all the nurses just about, like, and everybody there has been so great. And something else that was kind of nice, like, I hate it for his daughter, but, there's a family member that has it, too. And, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, so that's fine. Let's just, like, stop that part. Anyway, he's dealt with it personally and professionally, so you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it just makes it...
He has, like, a connection to it in a way that he wants to see you get help because he's helped someone personally.
Yes.
And he knows the struggle of it.
Exactly. And I feel like that's just... I don't know, it just made me feel better about everything, and, like, it was a great experience. And,
well, when is your procedure?
September 19th.
So everybody mark your calendar for September 19th. Like, that week, I want to challenge you all to pray for Madison for that entire week because she does have a procedure coming up, and it is something that she's obviously never done before. So we're just going to pray that the Lord will help Dr. May. Mm-hmm. We're going to pray that he will help Madison recover. I don't know, like, the recovery time on something like that or how painful things like that can be. So just pray for Madison that the Lord will just comfort her, help her have a quick recovery.
Yeah, because I would have to be back at work the next morning at 7 a.m.
Yeah, so pray hard. So we're about to wrap it up here. And there is a scripture that we have talked from A to Z today about everything. And so if you have dealt with us this long, there's this scripture that came to my mind, and I do want to read it just to kind of leave with you. And it's Psalm 94:19, and it says, "In the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul."
Oh, that's good.
And so in the multitude of your thoughts, I pray that you will be comforted. I pray that the Lord's word will just flood your thoughts more than the enemy's lies. I pray that God will just clothe you with peace and comfort no matter what is going on in your life, whatever season you're walking through. We love you all. We're thankful that you tuned in today. Today is Labor Day. You're going to be hearing this on Tuesday, but we're hoping that you all had a great Labor Day.
Yes.
We hope that your families get together, whatever Labor Day looks like for you. If you're lounging in bed,
Yes.
drinking coffee and being lazy all day, you do you.
Yes.
And we hope that it finds you well and that you have a great day. Madison, do you have anything?
I think that's all I got. I hope that, like she said, I do hope you all have a great Labor Day, and I hope you all have a good week, and you know that this podcast and maybe encouraged you all. Just, hey, if your lives feel crazy, just remember, like, all of ours are.
Yeah, everybody is going through something.
Yes, but the great thing is to have a good community around you. And me and Samantha have talked so many times about how, like, we know God's, like, put us together to do all these different ministries and stuff. So just be thankful for the people in your community, and find, if you don't have good community around you, like the craziness we've been talking about today, like, find the people that you need around you. I think that's a good thing that everyone is, like,
and be the community that you want.
Yeah.
That's an encouragement. Be the community that you want.
And be in whatever season of life your friends are in. Like, Samantha and Sarah are my absolute best friends, and they have been so good to me during this time. But also, like, try to be there for your friends that are always there for you. Like, with, like, Samantha and stuff, like, there's random stuff I don't know about. I don't have children, but, like, I'm always, like, trying to be there for her and with the kids and stuff. And I'm not saying that about me. I'm just saying all of us are in different seasons of life, so just try to be that person for your friend, too. Like,
yeah, you can be a help even though you're in a different season.
Yeah.
You can just be that extra hand. And sometimes you can just be an ear to listen.
Yeah, for sure. But we love you guys, and we hope you all have a great week.